Hello and welcome to the International Pentagon Challenge. My name is Kyanite and together we'll be embarking on a very special Football Manager journey where we'll aim to try and win every major international competition in all 5 continents, forcing our hand to play with hundreds of different types of players and most importantly hopefully create loads of awesome different types of tactics along the way. Once that's complete, only then are we allowed to set our sights on the biggest of all goals, the FIFA World Cup. How many nations will we have to manage until we work our way to the top? How many dodgy names will we have to pronounce along the way? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to episode 33 of the International Pentagon Challenge. Now you're probably watching this video and thinking, well, what happened to that upload schedule? And to be fair, like all the way up until kind of episode 30, I kind of stuck to the upload schedule pretty damn well. But honestly, the past 2 weeks, I've just not been able to record games, have time to edit the videos and upload them. And I'm disappointed in myself and stuff, but honestly, the past 2 weeks have been so hectic at work to the point where I come home, eat, and then fall asleep straight away. So hopefully you guys can forgive me, you know, for the lack of consistency and whatnot. But I do promise, towards the end of March, I'll make up for it with like an upload every day. And I'm going to try and see if I can get a weekend upload. I'm recording this on the Thursday the 15th. So I'm going to see if I can get you guys a weekend upload to make up, really, for the lack of uploads recently. But I do want to try and stick, starting next week again, to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Because hopefully I should have a lot more time on my hands now to actually get back into the gist of things. So, real life sometimes has to come first, but yeah, we're going to go back into our makeshift imaginary Football Manager life for now. So, last episode we beat Slovenia, or Slovakia as I always mix them up to be. Shout out to the person that picked up on that. I have kind of warned about that in previous series as well. 2-0. We then had a really important game against the Czech Republic. And if you remember the last episode, I said I was going to go away, play the Czech Republic, then Wales, then San Marino, and come back for this second Czech Republic game. Because I had a funny feeling that away against the Czech Republic, because they're basically the second best team in our group at the moment, that we were going to struggle. And that this game at Wembley against the Czech Republic was basically going to be a massive game for us. And that's exactly what happened. So we went away to the Czech Republic. To be fair, like if you look at the match stats, it looks like it was a pretty even game, but the Czech Republic really weren't that good. It was very disappointing, the manner in which they scored their goal kind of on the counter-attack. I think it began from one of our own corners, very similar to, I think it was how... I can't remember the country. We have conceded a goal similar to this. I think it was Hungary or someone in one of our friendly games. And, you know, we were huffing, we were puffing, we were throwing everything, including the kitchen sink forward. And thank God for the man, the myth, the legend that is Harry Kane. 94th minute. You know, we were on full-on overload here. There was no way I was going to take no for an answer. 2 up front, Rosenthal into Harry Kane, boom, there was the equaliser. Jumped out of my seat, couldn't quite believe it, because really, to get a point out of this game is massive for us. If we didn't get a point out of this game, despite the fact that we beat Wales again and then went on to beat San Marino 6-0, we would currently be second in the group. And that is basically, if you look down here, why this game for us now, today, is a must-win. We beat the Czech Republic. We should be able to get decent results against Lithuania and Slovenia. It should hopefully, you know, cement that top spot in the group. If we don't get top spot in the group, then we don't qualify for the FIFA 2026 World Cup, which is absolutely catastrophic when you're a nation like England. And likewise, if you look at the press conferences, they've been saying that I am under fire, which I don't really understand, to be honest, because if you look at the board, you'll see that they are pretty happy with how I've done so far. But obviously, failure to qualify for the World Cup, regardless of the fact that we are yet to really lose a game as England, except the Nations League semi-final against a much better side in France, that could very well seal my fate and see me sacked. You know, we have to qualify for the World Cup. There's no question about it. So on that note, let's jump straight into the game. Okay, so in terms of our starting lineup, it's actually Andre Green who starts out on the right-hand side instead of Roger Jepson. Other than that, pretty much the same thing. Michael Keane comes back into the side to play alongside John Stones. Lewis Cook plays as the anchorman instead of Eric Dyer. In terms of the Czech Republic, it's the same deep counter-attacking based 4-2-3-1 that they played against us in the away leg, if that's what you want to call it. They normally actually play Callas, who, if you watched my Blackburn save last year, will know is a player I know very well at right back. As more of a defensive right back. In this case, they've gone for this 20-year-old regen who plays for Newcastle, it seems. So what we are going to try and do that we didn't really do the first time we played them is put a little bit more emphasis on how we're going to try and counter them. So in terms of how we're going to do that, they play the big guy up front, the complete forward, and it's important that our own wingers track back, you know, and deal with these wide men. Now, normally they've got ridiculously pacey wingers, but it seems like they're playing Mihalik on the right-hand side, who's normally a striker by trade. So that's certainly something we can look to exploit, the fact that he's playing out of position. Zamir Hal is their main playmaker, and I think he has the most assists for him, if my memory serves me correct. I did see it in the team report. I've not got it written down, but yeah. He's going to be man-marked by Lewis Cook to try and keep him quiet, and then we've got these two who are basically going to try and match Dele Alli and Sam Jones in the middle of the park. It's important that our own wingers track back and try and help our fullbacks deal with these guys, but in the first kind of, it's not really a leg, but I'm going to keep calling it a leg. The first game we played against them at their end, at their stadium, I went out and played attacking. So I'm going to try and start things off a little bit more conservatively, standard, similar to how we've played against Italy, France and whatnot. Try and treat them like a decent side because they are playing very, very well. And they do have some half-decent players, and then try to really ease ourselves into the game. And part of the changes I'm going to do is ensure that Chidi and Chilwell, rather than be attacking, be supporting. That way we can try and keep the wingers quiet, and then we'll probably try and get Chilwell going forwards a little bit more, because Mihalik doesn't really possess that much of a pace or acceleration issue, and he's playing out of possession as their normal right winger does, when most of the Czech Republican assists, according to our team report, come from the right side of the park. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking to do ourselves. One thing as well our scouts have said is that they're not exactly the best jumpers. So we could very well change to go for more of an aerial approach as the game progresses. Opposition instruction-wise, we're looking to show both wingers onto their weaker foot. That's mainly because they're playing more as out-and-out style wingers, really, that are looking to try and whip the ball into the big guy up front. And Sheik as well is left-footed, so as Steve Holland actually suggests, it wouldn't hurt to really weaker foot on him. And we're looking to go in hard on the big guy up front, see if we can get him injured or something like that, you know, just try and make sure that we can assert our dominance on him, as well as the playmaker that Lewis Cook will be man-marking. And that is it, really. The only actual one change we've done to our normal standard setup is I've turned on retain possession nice and early on, just so we can get a feel of the game, and obviously Chilwell's dropped down to more of a support fullback. So here we go then, at Wembley, home crowd, massive, massive, massive game against the Czech Republic. And look, let's be honest, you know, we've had some decent results so far, but England always get through the qualifiers with relative ease. You know, when you play teams like San Marino, like we have, and teams like, dare I say, Wales, you know, we beat them 3-0. Didn't really show you the highlights for that one, but I don't want to keep this episode too long. It was a good 3-0 win. The first time we played them, we actually beat them 3-0 as well. So really, really happy to have, that was an interesting corner, to have actually managed to beat Wales again. Because it is, of course, a bit of a rivalry, forget where I'm coming from. But yeah, so point is, if we can't really, here at home, get a decent result against, with all due respect, a country like the Czech Republic, then we probably ain't going to do... Oh, come on, referee. then we probably ain't going to do too great at a World Cup. Now, hopefully, I see a decent corner come out from Chilwell. That's not too bad. I've not really had much luck, to be honest, in terms of England and corners with that in-swinging corner. It might, you know, end up being something we look to try and change as time goes on. Harry Kane shoots, and it's just wide of the target. Unlucky there from Harry Kane. Now, one of our main issues, I mean, I say this given that we beat San Marino 6-0 and Wales 3-0, but I still don't feel like we're scoring enough goals. I feel like we have loads and loads and loads of clear-cut chances. Now, you guys don't see them because I don't necessarily show you everything on camera, but the other day I was kind of playing, you know, the Wales game and the offline games, basically. When I say offline, oh, go on. Oh, when I say offline games, I mean the games that I don't show you guys on camera. And my brother was watching in the room, and he was just, you know, pissing himself laughing at the sheer number of one-on-one opportunities that some of the lads were missing. And they weren't even going down as clear-cut chances in the game, which was kind of funny. We are seeing some real good counter-attacking, though, coming out from the Czech Republic on our corners. That's probably something I'm going to actually look to try and avoid, simply because we know they are really good from doing it. And to be fair, it's just, you know, it's what they did to us the first time we played them. You know what I mean? So we'll head to corners. In terms of attacking, I'm just going to try and make sure we've got an extra lad staying back, just to really try and play it safe. And what I'll do is I'll tell Rashford to lurk outside the area as well. So the idea with that approach is that we have at least 2 or 3 people on the edge of the box. When the in-swinging corner comes in, if it gets headed out to the edge of the box, we can then recycle or at least have a shot from long distance. But it's very difficult sometimes to get players to have a shot from whip it in. Oh, to have a shot from distance when there's just so many players in front of them. We're playing well here. We are playing well. Oh, God. The second I say that, I thought they were going to score. So Dele Alli threads it through to Green, and that is a perfect example of the type of kind of what I would consider a clear-cut chance that we just seem to miss. And in the past, I put it down to the fact that we have inexperienced players, but I don't know why, but the 3D match engine is kind of taking the piss at times. I'm not really too happy about it. So we're yet to score. We've seen a lot of kind of the ball, so I'm going to turn retain possession off now. Let's see if we start maybe getting the ball forward with a little bit more urgency. Now that looked like it could have been a good chance, but apparently someone was offside or there was a foul somewhere. Chilwell, Dele Alli finds Jones. We are forced into playing it back, which is disappointing. Rashford to Harry Kane to Green, and well, it's a very good tackle from the Czech Republic. And the ball is straight out to that target man. And it's making me wonder what we have to do. I feel like we'd benefit from would we make Keane the stopper? I'm going to make Keane a stopper. Because what he'll then do is push forward from like the back 2. And when that direct ball comes forward, he's going to push forwards tight to the striker and try and out-head him to the ball. Which a player like Michael Keane should be able to do. Irregardless of that dodgy headed attempt we saw earlier on from him. This is nice from Pickford though, straight out wide towards Andre Green, but he's lost it straight away. Can we win that ball back? No, the answer is no. And once again, Schick is dropping deep, and what's happening is because Lewis Cook, I think, is man marking him, their main playmaker. That's what's causing us issues here. So I'm going to undo Michael Keane and actually tell Lewis Cook to stop man-marking this guy who's their playmaker. And hopefully he'll kind of sit in front of the back 2 a little bit more now. It's offside from Harry Kane. Jones finds Lewis Cook. Green whips it in and, well, it goes to absolutely no one. Rashford into Dele Alli. Can we shoot, please, guys? GD, someone. It's a corner. Sometimes, you know, I just feel like contemplating changing to a 4-4-2. What happened there? Took my eye off the ball for a second. But yeah, there we go, half-time. And the truth is, a draw is just A draw is not good enough for us in these circumstances. I mean, the Czech Republic have had sort of opportunities, right? But they're yet to have a shot on target. I think they had a header, but that doesn't seem to really count. We've lost a lot of possession in central areas of the middle third of the pitch and struggled for possession in the opposition's half. Tell them we're not happy. Do we ramp it up, you know, in terms of playing direct balls, clearing the balls to the wings and trying to get as many balls into the box as possible and men in the box as possible? And, you know, take that route, because it feels like when they're playing with that back four and the two defensive midfielders, that's going to be too difficult for us to break down centrally. What we are going to do, right, what we are going to do is we'll just switch to our regular attacking approach, starting off the second half, and see how that does for us. The one thing I am going to add is to clear ball to the flanks. So we are going to start off this second half, quite direct, but I just want to do it for 5 or so minutes and just see whether or not it's effective with the fullbacks full on proper bombing forwards. Because now that Lewis Cook is going to be trying to basically deal with that big target man up front that they've got, it seems like their wingers, oh God, are tracking back a lot. So we don't necessarily need to have our fullbacks on support. Win it. Nice. Jones now. That's what I'm talking about. And it's of course it's offside. This is tough. The Czech Republic are a bloody pain in the backside to break down. Oh God. Is that even allowed? Because his player... Is that not a pass back? I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a bit of a dodgy one for me, that. It's good football from the Czech Republic. Definitely taking advantage of the fact that we're playing a lot wider, because it's given them more time on the ball. So the Czech Republic have, you know, really come out this second half looking to pass the ball out the back. It makes me wonder whether we'd benefit from going 2 up front and proper closing them down from the front. Using slightly pacier players. Kane. Oh, it's just such a poor pass, that, isn't it? And then they just go and try and counter-attack with the direct ball forwards. It's like, it's not like we're not playing well, and it's not like we're not creating chances. It's just, they look to capitalise on any misplaced pass. Granted, we don't have that many of them. But they have so many men behind the ball. It just feels like we really lack the creativity to break them down. It's just exactly like the first time we played them. Dele Alli to Harry Kane. And it's not like Harry Kane has looked isolated either. Rashford's wide. You know, we've had opportunities like that header from Rashford. Especially in the second half after going more direct, you can tell. But it's not quite materialised. And I do have to keep an eye on the fact that players are starting to tire. There's one of the substitutes come on in Fusek, but it's a very good tackle from Chidi. Green's cutting inside. It's Chilwell on the overlap. Looks across the ball in. Can we recycle? The answer is yes, because of that third player in midfield. Rashford with the header, and it's offside. Okay, something needs to change here. Something needs to change. What's it going to be? That is the question. I'm going to reduce our directness to shorter passing, but it's still pretty damn direct given that we're attacking. I feel like this is a game we have to win. Like, well, I mean, is it a game we have to win? Because we'd probably beat Slovenia and whoever the hell we have to play as well, and then we'd finish top of the group on goal difference, but it still doesn't really feel sufficient to me, that, you know what I mean? Okay, Dele Alli has to come off. He's looking absolutely cream-crackered, he is. So Jones is going to become our advanced playmaker, and Will Hughes, who's actually played pretty decent for me every time he comes on, is going to be our deep-line playmaker on the right-hand side. Chidi's looking a bit tired as well, but truth be told, I don't really feel like there's anyone that can really replace him at the moment. But I am wary of the fact that they've subbed on a very pacey young left winger. So I'll just drop him back down to support. One more thing, I'm going to remove work ball into box as well. Just to, and actually bring on Roger Jepson on the right hand side. Just to try and see whether or not that allows us just to kind of bring up the intensity in the final third just a little bit more and try and avoid the central areas of the park. And there's Dele Alli losing the ball, and there's the direct ball forwards, and thank God for the fact that it was offside. This is what Premier League managers feel like playing against Sam Allardyce. What a run from Rashford. Hughes now. You see, that's the thing, they just pile up them central areas. Chidi's going to have to change from an IWB, because adding that extra man centrally isn't really what we need right now. So he's going to become a normal fullback. A part of me also wants to kind of set Rashford as a second striker, but again, it's like it's width that we need right now. You saw that attack there. We had players running through the middle. Oh, what a terrible corner. What a terrible corner. They're bringing on an attacking midfielder. This is what we want. Chilwell's in. Whips it in. Harry Kane scores. We got there in the end. And unsurprisingly, it comes from, you know, that fullback making the overlap and whipping the ball into the box. Wingers come on for them. We now need to make sure that, you know, our head remains in the game. One last substitution for me has to be made, and it's actually going to be Josh Timon. I think I can swap him with... No, it's going to be Josh Timon. Well, that backfired, didn't it? It's going to be Josh Timon, and I'm going to move him back to play here. He is kind of like one of them full-back. He can play anywhere down the left-hand side, really. So hopefully that'll help us in terms of trying to solidify down that side defensively. And just help us solidify things defensively overall, because that's the type of player he is. It's what he brings to the table. We're going to now look to retain possession a little bit more. Defensive line is slightly dropped. We'll drop our tempo a little bit as well. And we don't necessarily need to pass into space anymore. But I still want to keep a fair amount of width and tell him to be a little bit more disciplined. Most importantly, again, the Czech Republic haven't had a shot on target yet. It's just important now that we remain solid, rigid, you know, keep our heads in the game, concentrate. We've got quite a youthful side out there. Stay disciplined, keep as much of the ball as we possibly can. No need to kind of go route one like we were doing coming out in this second half now. And really show our quality with nice intricate passes and not lose the ball like that and allow them to counter-attack and let players like him through on goal. That's kind of the point. It's caught from Pickford. He's knackered as Chidi, so we'll do that to him. And we can do a bit of that as well. And now, I feel like one of the main reasons, I think it was Jones lost the ball. There's a playmaker, you kind of dribble a little bit more. So for that reason, turn him into a deep line playmaker, and Harry Kane more as a kind of complete forward on attack. We'll leave Jepson kind of as an attacking player out wide. But I would actually, like, fair play, Harry Kane's actually won that aerially, but I do want to try and get the ball to Jepson. He's fresh off the bench, he's incredibly pacey, and you can see his quality at work there. It's actually, oh, crossbar. It was actually Chidi, like, he's knackered, but he made the run forward into the box. As yet another corner goes wasted. Stones, out wide to Timon. Ball whipped in, oof, almost fell there to Jepson. That's it. You can't say we've not been the better side. You can't say we've not had opportunities. But it's games like this where I just wish we could grab that second goal and kill it off. Keep it simple. Simple. Nice. And, yeah. Good. Get it wide. That's where the space is. It's a no-brainer, really. And it's another very good save from Svek. And it's going to be another shockingly shit corner from us. Hughes to Chidi. John Stones tackled, and, well, same old story, isn't it, really? Timon with a bit of a professional foul there. Let's change our corners around a little bit. Off a short option. Play it short. I completely admit that I need to find a solution to our poor corners. It does seem like the in-swinger is not really getting the job done for us. Even when we pick the ball up, that's offside. Even when we pick the ball up kind of on the edge of the box, that's not really getting the job done for us either. Bring them a little bit more narrower. Kind of constrict the pitch a little bit more. It'll help us retain possession. Obviously, dribble less instructions tend to get ignored at times like this. Oh, God. And John Stones does a Gary Neville. Tell you what, I reckon this Czech Republic side, if they made the World Cup, would... Oh, we finally scored from a corner. What? Cheedy. It's like our budget Ashley Cole, except he plays right back. Oh, well. You know, he had a chance earlier on, zooming into the box, didn't he? The lad's knackered, but he's still somehow bombing up and down the wing. Go on, Harry Kane. I think he's kind of deserved a goal today as well. He's been getting into the right areas and stuff. I do feel like all them counter-attacking opportunities that the Czech Republic had, as soon as we told Lewis Cook to stop man-marking their AMC, who was playing support and dropping deep, suddenly gave us that real third man, the real benefit from having that triangular three. Because before that, he was getting lost, and our two centre-backs were just struggling to deal with the lone target man up front on his own. You know, it's been a grind. It really has. I'll admit that even though the fans are happy with the type of football we're playing, you know, I do feel like we could be scoring more goals as England. In terms of, I feel like I could be getting more out of Harry Kane. I'm just really not sure how. I think I could get more out of him if I play two up front, but then I feel like we'd have to kind of change the style of play that we currently have and the fans actually like, because it utilises width and pace and wingers a lot. Because, look, when you play with pace and wingers and stuff, oh, come on, referee. Ideally, you want more than one out-and-out striker in the box. And that's where the Kane-Rosenthal partnership kind of comes in. But for me, Rosenthal still isn't quite on the level I feel like I really need, you know, for an England side. He's just not consistent enough. He misses too many sitters. While Harry Kane, I feel like, does a decent... Actually, no, Harry Kane did score the first goal. Me saying Harry Kane's not scored and deserves to score tonight. Well, I'm talking rubbish. Yeah, it just feels like when we play the one person up front, we're a lot more solid defensively. It feels kind of weird to be saying this, but I still don't feel like I'm getting as much out of this England side as I maybe could do. I'm just not sure. But then again, it's another clean sheet. It's another decent win. And maybe I am being a little bit too negative, because again, if you do look at the match stats, the Czech Republic didn't even have a single shot on target. So you could argue that we've learned from our mistakes the first time we played them. And yeah, we emerged victorious. So the group currently looks like this. We're by no means qualified yet. However, if the Czech Republic slip up, then that would probably cement our qualification. If we beat Lithuania, if we beat Slovenia, then it doesn't really matter what happens elsewhere. We'll have qualified for the World Cup. And, you know, this being the International Pentagon Challenge, we weren't really planning on heading to a World Cup this early, but when you get an opportunity to go to a World Cup this early, you kind of have to take it when you're a manager like me. Even if we don't manage to win the Euros with England, even if we don't manage to win the World Cup with England, you know, as our reputation increases, it will probably, if we do eventually get sacked from England, it will probably let me go somewhere like South Korea, where we should, on paper, be able to conquer Asia with ease, which is a place we've been before. It should allow me to get, for example, the Ivory Coast job, the Nigeria job. You see where I'm coming from. And then once we win a few trophies, return to Europe later on, and then maybe manage England again, or someone like a France or someone like that. So that's really where I'm heading right now. Let me know what you think of how we're playing so far and how the results have gone, do you think I'm being a little bit too negative? Or do you really think I could be getting a little bit more out of Harry Kane? It just feels like we get a lot of balls into the box utilising our pacey players, but it just kind of seems like no one's getting in on the end of them. It would probably help if I change one of these playmakers to more of a box-to-box midfielder, because historically I find that the box-to-box midfielder always times their runs late into the box really well to get in on the end of crosses. I think it was Adlen Kadura, who we had in our FM17 Blackburn save, who used to do that a lot. But I'm not really sure how the box-to-box is this year on Football Manager 18. I've not actually tried it myself. So if you've tried the box-to-box, you know, if you've got a crossing tactic that utilises two central midfielders who grab goals, you know, rushing into the box and becoming a second striker, if you think you can help, do let me know in the comments below, and I'll probably try it out in the next 2 games. So with regards to what the next episode is going to be, I think naturally it has to be the Slovenia game. It's going to be such an important game for us. If we beat Lithuania and the Czech Republic beat whoever they're playing, then Slovenia will basically be a must-win game for us, because if we lose that game and the Czech Republic win, it could end up coming down to goal difference, which would still leave us at an advantage, but that's on the basis that we beat Lithuania anyways. Either way, the Slovenia game is going to be really kind of squeaky bum time stuff. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully we're going to get back into the gist of things and have more regular videos, and I won't come home from work every day and feel like the Black Death. Thanks for watching.